Hello, everybody.
Hello, everyone. How are you? Nice to be together again.
Okay, so today we're going to talk about three categories, bala, adhipati, and āhāra. And before we go into the content, let's pay respect.
Let's remember the Buddha. Homage to the sublime, the victorious, the totally self-enlightened one, the Buddha. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Remember also all our teachers and all the Sangha, all the community that is continue to take care of the teaching. May it last for long. Okay, everybody ready? Nancy, can you hear now? It seems not yet. Oh, pity. Okay, so let's start.
Okay, so today we are going to look at three categories. One is called powers, balas, another predominance, adhipati, and we have also āhāra. In the rupas, we have seen āhāra as nutriment, and here is translated as conditions. So we will see why. So let's go directly to the first one, the first group. The first group, bala, powers and strength. So there are altogether 9 ultimate reality. In this case, they are all cetasikas. So we have 9 cetasikas that are called balas. So when they are well developed, then they become power or become strength. So now let's see which one are they and why they are called balas. Yeah. Okay. Everybody okay? Yes. Okay. Okay.
Powers.
So they are called balas, power or strength, because when these cetasikas, when they reach the stage of bala, when they are further developed, then they are powerful and then they are strong, and then they cannot be eradicated or cannot be shaken by their opposite. Like they are strong as a mountain, no, cannot be shaken. They are unshakable. So therefore, they are called balas. So this is the first reason.
As we know, most of the mental ingredients have their opposite, isn't it? Loba, aloba, dosa, adosa, and they kind of cancel each other. They cannot coexist together. Either we are being generous or stingy, cannot do both at the same time. But when we develop one of these balas or powers, when they reach that moment, their opposite cannot shaken it. It's already established, and that is already, you can imagine, going into the direction of freedom, because it's so strong, the mind. It's just a matter of time for all these mental ingredients to continue maturing and reaping their fruits.
So this is the first reason why these 9 are called balas. And there is also another reason, because they themselves are strong, and at the same time, they strengthen the other. They strengthen their concomitants.
Nice
yes. So therefore, they are also called bala because of that. So just as a reminder, we are still in the Misaka chapter, so the mixed category. So there are wholesome ones and unwholesome ones as well. So we will see now which ones are they. So 2 reasons, because they cannot be shaken by their opposite, and because they strengthen their concomitants. Okay, so that's why they're called balas. Now the first one is sada bala, the power of confidence or trust or faith. Sada. So sada is very important. So when sada is well developed, then it becomes bala, becomes a power. So, because only when we have confidence in the value of dana, sila, bhavana, then we will apply ourselves to this kind of practice. No? Because we have confidence that these practices are good practice. So in the same way, only when there is sada, when there is confidence, then we are able to perform meritorious deeds, perform good deeds. So when we have trust in something, then we are free to give ourselves to that. No, otherwise we are a little bit like cautious.
We hesitate. We stay in the back. We don't don't fully engage onto something because there is lack of confidence. Should I go? But then when the confidence is on the, especially when it is in our own potentiality and nobility, we just give it the full, yes, we can do it.
So here also sada, having faith or confidence is not just because we believe, it has to be based on understanding.
Yes.
So because we understand, so that's something that we have trust in become a real object of faith or of confidence. Then we decide that this is good because we understand why it is good, and then we have confidence on these things that that is worthy of placing our trust and confidence or faith on.
Yes, and as we know, the best way to strengthen our confidence is to prove the things. In this case, to prove the teaching, to see, yes, it's true. I have these mental ingredients. It works like that, and it does bring the benefits that the teachers talk about. Then the confidence increase, as Charana was saying right now. The best way to make we are not talking about blind faith or believing at all. We are talking about a process of learning, experimenting, and proving. Then that kind of confidence, that experiential knowledge, it's unshakable. No one can take it away because we already experienced it. We already saw it and are reaping the fruits of that learning, experimentation, and proof. It sounds very much like the scientific method. So it's a kind of faith. We can call it faith, yes, but you see the difference of it. It is based on empirical knowledge. Yes.
Yes, Fernando just posted comment. It says, I've heard sada being compared to a hen. It allows you to pick up something, either good or bad. So I have also heard that this comparison that sada is like a hen to help us, but whether it is good or bad, I am not so sure about that point. I will confirm with our teacher because sada is a Cetasika that is wholesome. So most probably it helps us with good things. But whether it is possible that because when we have too much sada, then it become blind faith also. It is possible. So I will confirm with our teacher about this point, whether it is always good or whether it can be bad as well.
I think the kind of belief or faith in our point of view in terms of akusala will be closer to diti. We are attached to our ideas, but our idea is wrong. So then, yes, we have a lot of faith in our thesis, and then we try and experiment about it, but the only result we can get is negative. We will check with Seattle this detail.
Yes, just because we're looking at that, this also, actually, I have a few things about the comparison of sada right here. So just because we're talking about this, so mentioned a little bit. So it also says that sada is the forerunner of wholesomeness, just like as we said, only when we have confidence in the dana, sila, and bhavana that we applied ourselves, and we do wholesome deeds. So therefore, it is also called the forerunner of wholesomeness. And also, it is like a purifying gem. So when
gem.
So, you know, like in the water purifying machine, sometimes they have these crystals and things that purify the water, no? So sada is also compared to those purifying gem or crystals that when the water is muddy, then the mind cannot see. So with those purifying crystals,
confidence,
with confidence, with sada, then the mind become clear, like clear water. Then we can see things clearly.
It clears the waters of the mind. The mind becomes clear because it has trust and gives so many benefits in many layers. I dare to say even health, physical health. Once we trust on something, we are at peace because we know.
There is another example that when we explored previously about Cetasika, we also talked about it, which is really, really nice also. It said sada is like a hero leading the people to cross a dangerous river. So
nice.
Let's say the person that he is the hero, the leader of the group, and he is bringing everybody to cross the river. And then the river, the two sides of the river, there are crocodiles and all kinds of dangerous animals. So people don't dare to go, don't dare to cross the river. So sada is like the hero. He has a sword, and then he goes, and then he opened the way for everybody to cross. So that is also then one comparison of sada.
Epic.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Also here is also said like a hand that help us, like Fernando gave this example. Also, it also says that it's like a treasure, like a seed. So with different examples, yeah, then the teachers have given. Okay. So
big difference between faith, as we understand faith culturally, and this kind of sadha based on knowledge and experimentation. Yes.
Yes. Also, sometimes, as Bante said, that we have to experiment, but we also sometimes something we don't experience yet, but we have this kind of confidence that that because the teacher said already explained that so many things that is right. So all by inference, because there is smoke, so we can understand that there must be fire. No,
there is smoke in the mountain, there must be fire.
We don't see the fire yet, but because we see smoke, so we can understand because of the workings that there must be a fire because there is smoke, although we don't see the fire. So there are inference also. So by all kinds of, by other kind of understanding, although we don't see the thing yet. For example, we say nibbana. When we experience nibbana, we are already enlightened. So it is not really that we can experience.
We don't need faith.
We don't
once
need
we
faith
experience
anymore.
It. Because it's an experience.
That it is still there because once one experience that is unshakable faith. Now our faith.
Now it's confidence.
Sayadaw said this confidence faith is still shakable until we established in the Sotapati Magga. No, so unshakable faith is until then, but
we must
little
trust.
bit shakable faith. But still, with confidence, we will have.
Important to strengthen, as we don't yet experience something, is to prove smaller things. We know already that there is kusala and akusala in our minds, in other people's minds, and if we are attentive and administrate our mental states, we can reach by our own efforts to well-being. So these small things, even smaller, we can be proving, and that is building up. So whenever there are things that are theoretically just by now, all this confidence can trust on the Buddha and the Dhamma and in the Sangha, because yes, there is still a way to go. So this is the first power, which is sada, confidence.
Yeah, we expanded a little bit into more about sada, but also actually I have prepared just as a reminder things that we have already seen in chapter 2 in the Cetasikas, but just as a reminder, confidence on what? Confidence about what? So we have confidence of faith in reality and how nature works. So in other words, the Dhamma, like how nature works.
Dhamma in the sense of nature and in the sense of the teaching, they are that explains that
how
nature.
the Buddha explains the way to go out also, no? To go out from suffering, no? Then we have confidence in oneself, have confidence in our teachers, in the Buddha. And then in the teaching, here comes the Dhamma, the teachings.
The teachings itself.
The practice and our potential, no? That it is possible for us to attain.
Beautiful, this one. If you wish to take a screenshot, it's a good graphic note to keep in mind. These are the things to be confident about or to develop faith in.
So it's the opposite of doubt, of not knowing what is good, what is bad, what is true, what is not.
Yes, is it true, not? Like wavering, and the mind is weak at the degree of demolishing our faculties.
Yes,
it's an obstacle.
So sada here we are talking about power, bala. So sada, when it is well developed and cultivated, then it becomes sada bala, and the power of confidence, and no doubt can shake it. Then it becomes unshakable when it is a bala, when it is a strength.
And as you remember, this is one of the characteristics of touching nibbana for the first time, the sotapanna, the first stage of enlightenment. That individual, once it reaches there, his faith is unshakable. His faith or his confidence in the teaching, in the Buddha, and the way of and the Noble Eightfold Path, because he already proven it. So that is the top, the crown of this bala. But before, of course, it starts getting stronger and stronger, giving us power to continue.
Yes, when Bante said that when it reached Sotapati Magga, that becomes unshakable, that is unshakable forever. Like, so after that moment, his faith is never going to be shakable anymore. And here,
doubt is eradicated totally, yes. Perdón.
Yes, it's eradicated totally in the first Sotapadimagga. No? So, but Sada Bala here, maybe not arriving to there yet, but when Sada is well developed and it becomes a Bala at that moment, no, we're talking about at that moment, then it is unshakable by doubt. But later on, in other moments when there is no Sada Bala, then it could be possible because we have not arrived to Sotapadimagga
to experience doubt, sometimes experience confidence. It will be changing. Yeah.
Okay, so that's the first one.
Beautiful one, no? Very nice.
And you hear okay?
Everybody
Any
okay?
Comments or
questions? Nothing.
Okay. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, so the next one is called Viriya Bala. Viriya Bala, the power of effort. So this one is quite easy to understand. So when we have effort, like the 4 kinds of right effort, no, we have seen in previous sections.
Avoid doing bad, do good, etc.
So when Viriya, when effort becomes strong, then we can accomplish a lot of things. And also at this point, when Viriya becomes a Bala, becomes a power of strength, it pushes away its opposite, which is laziness. No? So laziness cannot overcome the mind when Viriya is strong, when Viriya is a Bala. Okay, so that is quite easy to understand. So we will just go there because these things you already know. So we will not stay too long. So we just go ahead and ahead. Now the third one is called Sati Bala. Sati Bala, the power of mindfulness. So when Sati is actually developed. Sati is non-wobbling. No, like the example that teachers give is like it's very firmly staying on the object. On its, it knows the object. It stays there. On its object. So it's not wobbling in terms like it is not like a pumpkin floating on the water, like flowing here and there, just very superficial on the object. But Sati is holding the object firmly and diving deep into the object. So it's not floating away from its object. That's called Sati. Doesn't shake. The mind is stable, knowing its object, whichever object it is, it knows it well, clearly. The object can change, but it is the quality of the mind, even it moves through different objects, as we know in the momentary concentration, moment-to-moment concentration, Kanika Samadhi. Yes, so Sati here, it is the opposite of it is the forgetfulness or confusion. So when Sati becomes a power, becomes Bala, then there is no forgetfulness or confusion that can overcome it. It is very strong and always mindful, and it guards the mind to keep it in Kusala. So that's the Sati Bala, which is very important. And then now the fourth one we have is called Samadhi Bala, the power of concentration. Wow. Yes. So when the mind is concentrated, it is very powerful. No? Especially when it becomes a Bala, it's very, very powerful. And then it focused on its object and it can accomplish what it wants to do. So just a few more image like this leopard. Like when he is focused on his object, then he can still move quickly, but he never lift his eye away. He never get his eye away from the target. The object is totally concentrated, even movement and the hassles of life. Yes. So sometimes we have to remember Samadhi. Of course, it's ethically variable, no? So it can be akusala as well. Yes. Because it is ekagata, no? It's ethically variable. But even when it is good, there are different kind of samadhi. Like Bante just mentioned, we have kanika samadhi as well. That does not mean that the mind is with only one single object, but it can be with different objects, but moment to moment, like this leopard, he's moving, he's running, but he is keeping the mind on the object at each moment, the target at each moment, keeping the mind there. So it's not necessarily that we have to be still, which is another kind of samadhi for jhana practice, or samatha jhana, also that kind of samadhi also. Okay, so when the mind, when the samadhi is so strongly developed, and it become a bala. So possible for humans as well. Yes. No, actually it is for humans. Samadhi bala. Okay, so let's go to the fifth one. The fifth one is panya bala, the power of wisdom. So this is also very important. We actually don't have to say much about it. We know that when wisdom grows and well developed, then it is a power. It leads the mind. So this is very important.
Maybe the most important, essential, because that's what's gonna give the direction to all the other ones. Where are we going? El timón. In this case, we have it both ways, like the Dhamma wheel, y el timón. I don't know how to say the steering wheel of the boat. Direction. That is all the power of the veils. How I don't know how to call of the las velas. It's gonna be guided by this refined power
of the mind. Yes. Okay, so that's the fifth one. Then let's go to another one.
Power. The sixth one is hiri and ottappa, and as we remember, it is translated loosely a little bit about moral shame and moral dread. We are ashamed. We respect ourselves enough not to fall down and hurt others. We respect ourselves enough not to go down and hurt ourselves, falling down or being ashamed of shame by society because committing an unwholesome act through the mouth, through our voice, or through our actions. And then the ottappa, it is moral dread. I like this word better than fear or terror that sometimes you find in some scriptures, in some translations. Moral dread is because it's based on the wisdom. I know if I do bad, sooner or later, I will harvest the fruits of this bad action. So I know where this is going, and because of respect of oneself and others, the properties of others and the relations of others, integrity of others and emotions of others, based on respect, I don't fall down. And also knowing the law of karma and having this dread, I don't want to receive these bad fruits. That is what keep me away and of doing unwholesome actions. And how the Buddha described, as you remember, I'm sure, the Buddha described hiri and ottappa as the guardians of the world. And actually they are. This is the only thing that keeps humans from doing wrong. And hopefully it grows much more. Our society really, really will be very beneficial.
And so hiri and ottappa, as Bhante already explained, is the moral shame and moral dread from doing bad deeds, which in the three sense, like mentally, verbally, and physically. So in the three ways, we have the hiri and ottappa. So with hiri and ottappa, they are called the guardians of the world because they prevent or they protect widespread immorality. So when other people, when
they
more
protect
people
immorality not to grow. They don't protect immorality. Sounded a little bit like
they protect from.
They protect from immorality.
Widespread immorality, because when there is hiri and ottappa, then the people do not do harm, do not do akusala, because hiri and ottappa, they are only kusala. So here they are also, when they are well developed, these two are also powers. So when they are strong, they are unshakable by others. As Bhante already mentioned a little bit, the proximate cause for hiri is respect for oneself. Proximate cause of ottappa is respect for others.
And as a brief reminder, we have their opposites, and they happen in any kusala, in any akusala mental state, which is ahirika and anottappa. No shame of doing bad, no responsibility or fear of reaping the negative fruits of our bad actions.
Yes, actually they are the next two balas.
Yes.
They are also
in this case,
strong.
they are balas as well. They potential. Once the mind is on negativity and there is no shame, whatever that mind, whatever that being can do whatever. Once the first killing started or the first rock is thrown into a window shop, in a riot, agárrese quien pueda, hold from wherever you can, because the violence has been unleashed, and this has been seen in many cultures in our world, and this is actually the beginning of the decay of cultures in themselves. As we know, in the Roman empires, once the morality and the shamelessness took root, Ahirika and Anotapa, the first thing that starts is lies. And as I sent recently one teaching in English, from Seado Unanda Malaji, which actually he's quoting the Buddha, the person who can lie can do anything else, any kind of unwholesome action. So then the morality starts decaying. It generally happens, and it is something to be wary, because it generally happens on the peak of economic or material well-being. The people start getting more indulgent into the pleasures. The respect for oneself and others start getting lost, and then I don't know how to say in English, the bacchanal, or the partying and the promiscuity comes in, and everything starts falling. Hirianotapa took over. It became a power already. Everything falls away. It has happened in many cultures in different ways. The degree of blaming and shaming the moral figures and teachers, and just sensual desire arise. And well, what to say more? We have seen it, and our culture is liable to happen. That thing is something that repeats over and over.
Yes. Okay, so here it is Ahirika and Anotapa, which are the two that are very dangerous, because they accompany all kinds of akusala.
Yes.
They are universal akusala cetasikas.
Anything can happen.
So, but here, although we're talking about a culture of widespread immorality, we have to remember that these ones, they happen in our own mind.
Yeah.
They are bala. When they are strong in one's own mind, then one can do anything.
Yes.
Or when Hiri and Notapa is strong, then also one can accomplish. Because this bala, they are so strong, then whenever there is bala, then it is powerful, and it strengthens their concomitants. So if this Ahirika and Notapa is together with a loba, then because they are strong, they encourage also, they strengthen
more
the loba
loba
as well. So the loba also becomes strong. Everything becomes strong.
Yes.
And
even concentration on the akusala object will become stronger, because that thing is backing up in the force. It's already guiding all the other ones, inspiring to raise up.
Mm-hmm. So when they are strong, then it is quite dangerous.
And as Charana says, it's a personal experience, of course, but in a community, a society is made up of individuals. It is the Hirianotapa happening. Is not a collective thing. It is happening individually on each of the minds of the member of such community. And when many of the people has already lost respect for themselves and others, wow, we can expect, it's natural. It's a natural phenomenon. I'm not saying it's good, but it is natural. Yes, if there is Hirianotapa and Akusala guiding, wow, we can expect horrible things.
Okay, so yes. Here we finished with the 9 balas, and let's take a summary look to see, just to remember what they are.
Going quickly.
There are some more details that we will go now, but let's just take a look first. So first one, we have sada. When sada are well developed, then it becomes a power, strength. Then we have also the power of effort, viriya.
This case is ethically variable, or just
it will
wholesome?
come. It will come. Can you just wait a little bit? And then we have sati bala, which is the power of mindfulness. Then we have samadhi bala, the concentration, power of concentration. Panya bala, the power of wisdom. Then we have the power of Hiri and Otapa, and nice. The power of Ahirika and Anotapa. So this is like a shameless, no respect for oneself, there's no respect for others. And okay, so now here we can, so we have 9 of them here, and then it can, if we arranged it according to its quality, then we have it in this way. These 5, they are always kusala, no? Sada,
Sati, as we know, only
Panya,
happen in Kusala mental state.
and Ottappa,
Yes.
they are always Kusala. And as Bante just asked it right now, then Viriya and Samadhi, they are ethically variable. No, these two.
Yeah, I said that because when we spoke about bala viriya, I think we only gave the positive side of it. But yes,
Yeah,
it can be as samadhi is ethically variable. Yes.
Yes, Viriya as well. So when we do bad, also we put a lot of energy, and then when it becomes power, so a lot of effort to do bad. Also, it is possible.
No one can stop the mind. Well, it will change eventually, but at that moment, difficult.
Actually, we are coming to this point. Okay, remember this point that is that no one can stop it. Okay, now we're coming to that. Okay, now. Then let's finish with this also. Then ahirika and anottappa is kusala, not always. Cannot be.
Never kusala.
Ever. Variable. It's only akusala. Okay, so we have these three families here. And now we are coming to this detail. So it is said that goodness, kusala, it is strong and it cannot be eradicated by akusala. It is important, no? So there is no
in general.
kusala in general.
Okay.
There is no akusala that can eradicate kusala. So I imagine it like light. That's why I put it in this picture, like light. Although darkness is also strong, but darkness cannot destroy light. Maybe it can cover it, or it can sometimes.
It can be more. If the light is small. There are more. You can see more darkness. When you have a very tiny lamp, you can see a little bit. There is darkness surrounding it, but
it cannot destroy the light. So there is no darkness that can destroy the light. So kusala is like that. It is strong and it can never be eradicated by darkness.
That's hopeful. That's hopeful.
But on the other hand, darkness, although it is strong, it can be eradicated by light. It can be eradicated by wisdom. So in this case, akusala can be eradicated by maga. So maga chitta eradicate all kinds of defilements. It eradicates, totally uproot loba, dosa, moha, and all kinds of defilements. No? So maga uproot and eradicate defilements, but there is no akusala that can ever eradicate kusala. So luckily
for us,
yes. So
nature is generous.
Yes.
Another gift of nature.
So although here in this case, although these ahirika and anottappa, they are strong, but they are actually they can be shaken by their opposites. So now we will see. So let's look at this graphic again. We have sada, sati, panya, hiri, and ottappa. So they are always kusala, and when they become bala, nothing can shake them. Nothing can shake them. So no opposite can eradicate them. So they are as strong as mountain, as we said. And as well as viriya and samadhi,
if they are all wholesome,
if they are associated with wholesome states, they are also unshakable. And besides they are unshakable, they also strengthen their concomitants. They also help the others.
Associated and mental ingredients.
Yes. So for these seven balas, 5 sure and 2 when associated with wholesome states, then they are bala because of the both reason. Because they are unshakable by the opposite and because they strengthen their concomitants. Okay? Until here, okay? Yes? Okay? Yeah.
Good.
Then for ahirika and anottappa, since they are akusala, that means they are shakable by kusala, by their opposite. So in this case, they are called bala only because they strengthen their concomitants. So they are never unshakable. They are only called balas because they strengthened their concomitants when they arise. So as well as this viriya and samadhi, when they are associated with akusala, then also they are shakable. And they are only strong because they call bala because they strengthened their concomitants as well.
Hence the hope of the path. Hence the hope of the practice. Otherwise, if negativity couldn't be shaken, there was nothing to do.
Yes, that would be a disaster.
Once it is established in the world, it is nothing to do. Just let it roll. We can see in two perspectives. In the moment, Yes, when a mind is intoxicated by mental negativity at that time, as long as there is no light of common sense, the mind that individual is bound to or can do horrible things at that time. But fortunately, these mental states can shake. And as we know, for example, in the good side, once a person reach any state of enlightenment, it's impossible to go back. Impossible. Cannot go back to worldly life. He already took away the fire of or whatever ignorance or an Achillesa was still there. It is impossible to go back, unshakable. No one can fall down from Sotapanna back to worldly life.
Okay, so fortunately, this Ahirika and Anotapa, although they are strong, even they are balas, even they are so powerful, but they still are shakable. Otherwise, it will be a disaster. No, so nothing can stop them. No?
Even now, yeah.
Yes, so they can be eradicated by Magga. So it is important to understand here that no akusala can ever eradicate kusala, but kusala can eradicate akusala.
Hope must be there, because even a murderer like Angulimala can be totally liberated. It can be changed up. That's a gift. Yeah.
Okay, so although they are strong themselves, when they are met with kusala, and then they will lost. Actually, they will lose. Yes. So this how they are more powerful.
There is hope.
Okay, so here we finish with the 9 balas: Sada, Sati, Panya, Hiri, Otapa, Viriya, Samadhi, and Ahirika and Anotapa.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
So we finish another section. Okay, so now let's go to another section. Everybody
okay? Ready? Everybody okay? Question, comment until now with balas? Anything? Someone?
Everything okay? Okay.
Everybody okay.
Okay, so let's go to Adhipati.
Adhipati Pachena Pacheo.
Yes, so actually, since Bante is chanting already Patana, then I will just talk a little bit about Patana. Then in this section, that's section 7, then we're seeing a lot of different families. Now, this is going to be important because in chapter 8, when we study the dependent origination and the Patana, the conditionality, many of these names will come up. So when we see these names, then we have to remember the categories or what they are. So it will be helpful.
Yes, my dear family, brace yourself because it's coming in chapter 8. Very deep and interesting chapter. It's gonna come really nice.
Okay, Adhipati predominance. So let's see what is predominance. Adhipati of predominance, it means overlord or something which has absolute power over its associated states. Okay, so I'll repeat it again. Adhipati, translated as predominance, it means something. Here there are 4 ultimate realities, which are predominance, and they have absolute power over their associated states. So they are the what? Yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Well, they are being predominant. This is it. When that means that there are many, and one is more predominant than the other ones are still there, and then another one takes the lead. We can say it leads at that time. It becomes predominant over the other ones, like a king that changes. That time when the king has on his reign, it will be ruling over or like a president right now, it will be ruling over the different departments. It will be the predominant, but that predominant can change and become back again the ex-president, or the ex-president can become a follower later on of somebody else who is in predominance.
Yes. Okay, so here the example given by teachers are predominance is like a king. So he has absolute power over his kingdom. Also all the areas he has his the top, and he has overpower, and there can be only one king at a time. No, if there are 2 kings, then
problem.
So there is only one king at a time, so one adhipati at a time. So this is different from indriyas, as we saw last time, because indriya last week I think some of you didn't attend, but maybe you have seen in the videos. So
very nice one from last week. If you didn't saw, it's a very worthy one. Was very inspiring, very beautiful, I think.
Yes. So we talked about indriyas. So indriyas, faculties, they have power over their own domain only. So they are not concerned with the others' domain. So in this example, it is compared like the ministers. So the ministers, Minister of Agriculture, he has the power over the agricultural field. Minister of Foreign Affairs, so he only takes charge of foreign affairs. He does not take care of agriculture. No, so they can exist together and they work side by side. It's possible, but the king is compared as the adhipati. So it's only one, and he's in charge over everything. Over everything, over also agriculture, also over foreign affairs. Whatever they have problem, they have to come and ask him. No, so he has the power of over everything, while indriyas only have power over their own area. Hence, they can coexist. As indriya, as indriya. Of course, every they can all coexist in the same state. No, let's say in the same chitta. But if one is adhipati, all the others should follow.
Yes.
Yeah, but sorry, indriyas. There can be 2 or 3 indriyas in the same time. No problem.
Just to establish context and don't let the mind get lost into the examples that the teachers gave. We are talking about our mind. It is a faculty, mental faculty, that that mental ingredient is ruling over the other mental ingredients associated. And in this case, an adhipati, in predominant mental ingredient, is ruling over the even the indriyas can come. I'm just pointing towards the fact that we are talking about our mind. Right now, our mind, there is an indriya rolling on, one of them, and there can be another adhipati right now in the way we think. It is us. It is our consciousness. It is our mental functioning, what we call myself or whatever.
Okay, so this is just an example to understand the difference between adhipati and indriyas, which is, I think, clear in this case. So let's go and see which 4 ultimate realities can become adhipati. The first one is called chandadhipati. So it is translated as the will to do predominance. So we want to do something, chanda, the wish to do something. No, so here chanda, this word, we have to be careful. Sometimes chanda also means lobha. For example, in kama chanda, no, then we have heard this word, sensual desire, kama chanda. But in this case, this chanda adhipati, this chanda is only the chanda cetasika in ultimate reality. Only chanda, which is the will to do. It is different from lobha in the sense that it is the example being given is like an archer. What she wants to do here is she wants to shoot, no? So she is not attached to the arrow. She does not. Well, she is not like I don't want to get lost my arrow, no. So she's not attached to the arrow. What she wants to do is she wants to shoot. So that is what she wants. So it is not attachment, but it's the will of wanting to do something. So that is chanda.
Yes.
So here in this case, is merely the wanting to do. Then when chanda in a chitta, when chanda cetasika become an adhipati, become predominance, when it is so strong, then all other cetasikas must follow.
That becomes the leader, predominant mental state at that moment in the mind, in our mind.
So I put etc. here because I cannot put all the cetasikas in one, so many. So when chanda is king, let's say is adhipati, then all the other ones are followers. They follow the chanda, the will to do in this case. Okay, so let's look at the 4 of them, which ones, and then we will give some example also. Okay. Now, the second one is viriya adhipati, effort predominance. So when effort is strong, let's say this is the effort, then all the other cetasikas follow him. So he has the strong effort to climb, to go, and to do whatever he wants to do to accomplish his task. Then all the other cetasikas follow him as followers. So viriya is king, viriya is the predominance, and all the other follow him. So that's viriya adhipati, effort predominance. And when effort is strong, then one can be successful in the undertaking or whatever one wants to do. Then we have chitta adhipati, chitta predominance. So in this case, chitta, as we usually describe, like the plate, the container. So when chitta is strong, chitta itself is strong, is the king, then all mental ingredients follow him.
Yes.
So this is called chitta adhipati. And then the last one we have is called vimamsa adhipati. Vimamsa is usually translated as investigation. So investigation predominance. But in ultimate reality, this investigation is actually panya. It's panya. So amoha, no, is wisdom. So when wisdom is strong, is the king. So all other cetasikas follow. So this is vimamsa adhipati.
We can look at it right now. I got the image, since sometimes we see here in Macau, like the tour guide, he has the flag and all the people just look at the flag and follow it. That will be all the associated cetasikas following the predominant or the leader.
Yes, so as Bante said, that we are talking about chittas, no, actually, all these are cetasikas. We're talking about our mind. So we'll see how it works. So in a chitta, let's say in a chitta, so there are many cetasikas. No? In this case, let's say it is the first beautiful cetasika, kusala chitta. So it has alobha, it has adosa, it has panya, and it has chanda, viriya, and
universal sanya, phasa,
no?
vedana,
Because there
are
19 beautiful universal cetasikas. No, so it's not enough space to put everything.
Check chapter 2 if
yes,
you.
So a lot.
It's good to have. There is one list of cetasikas. Keep at hand. I use very often. Keep in your phone cetasika list, Pali and the meaning. Or sometimes if you can simplify the approximate cause or something to have a constant access, like easy access, is good to have. Yes.
Okay, so here, imagine this is the here is the beautiful
Sobhana.
Sobhana cetasika. Sorry, Sobhana chitta, the first one, kusala chitta. So with a lot of good ingredients also here, as an example. So in this case, when chanda is strong and is leading, let's say he wants to do something good, no? So when chanda is leading, so chanda becomes chanda adhipati here.
Chanda adhipati.
And then all the other ones, panya and chitta and all the other ones, although they can also be adhipati, but at that moment, since chanda is leading, they all just follow. And if chitta itself is strong and becomes chitta adhipati, then all other mental ingredients, all other cetasika follows.
Chitta is the leader.
So it cannot have two adhipati at
like a group of friends. Sometimes a friend said, "Oh, let's go here." Okay, everybody said, and then the other one, "Let's go there." Okay,
depends on situation, what is strong.
This is happening right now in our minds. Somebody is leading in some way.
Sometimes
maybe this
sometimes
one
happens, sometimes don't happen.
But for example, right now Viriya, we have the effort to be sitting here and paying attention to the screen or talking about something. Then effort or attention, intention, etc., will be leading the way.
So in the same way, Viriya, when it becomes Viriya adhipati, only Viriya is one adhipati, or the other, it has absolute power over all other ones. No, so all other follows. In the same way, when panya is strong, it's called a vimamsa adhipati, and all other must follow. All other ingredients must follow. So adhipati predominance. Then here we see that there are 4 of them, which is possible to become adhipati one at a time. So chanda adhipati, chitta adhipati, viriya adhipati, and vimamsa adhipati. Now here there is another detail that I have to share with you. But until here, let's digest a little bit, or if you wish to take a note or photo.
Chanda adhipati, chitta adhipati, viriya adhipati, vimamsa adhipati. Intention.
No, intention. Chanda, will to do.
Will to do. Sorry, the chitta itself, effort and wisdom.
Yes, one at a time. Okay. Everything okay? We continue? Yes.
Gosh.
Okay, so this adhipati can only happen in jhavanas, chittas. So because Javana is active, no? So when we want to do something like so actively, so it is only in the Javanas. So we'll give you some example here. So adhipati predominance, which can be chanda or chitta or virya or panya, can only happen in Javana chittas. For example, when we do kusala, let's say this person, she is going to do some volunteer work in helping to repair the monastery or whatever, and or maybe this person, they're offering food to the teachers. This is our teacher actually, Virginia. So offering food in the morning. So in this case, it could be chanda adhipati, or it could be chitta adhipati. So if the will of doing is strong, like she really thinks that I really want to go and help, so in that case the will to do, the wanting to do is strong, so it could be chanda adhipati. Or if the kusala chitta itself is strong, then it could be chitta adhipati in this case. Or if virya is strong, virya also necessary, like they have to wake up really early in the morning and cook the rice before teacher arrives at 6 something. You know, the monks, they pass for alms run and 6 something in the morning. Yes. So 5 something they have to get things ready. So it takes effort to wake up early, and also for this person maybe to get the day off or whatever to do good. So it takes effort. So if effort is very strong in that case, then it becomes virya adhipati, no? And sometimes it can be also panya adhipati. Maybe the person, they understand that it is a great opportunity to do kusala, and so that is panya leading, so that could be panya adhipati as well. So this case, it can happen in kusala javana chittas, no? Only in the javanas, not in other chittas, no? Now there is another example. This picture that you are looking now is actually, this is the Venerable Sariputta to be. So before he becomes Venerable Sariputta, and this is Venerable Assaji. So when the before he became Venerable Sariputta, no? So he met Venerable Assaji and asked him about the Dhamma. Then after Venerable Assaji explained a little bit of the Dhamma to him, then he became Sotapanna at that moment, no? So this is the picture of that incident. So in this case, when Venerable Assaji, who is already an Arahant, explains something to the future Venerable Sariputta. So in that case, his chitta could be chanda adhipati, or he wants to explain, or it could be chitta adhipati. The chitta is strong. Sorry, I forgot to mention. In this case, it is kriya, no? Because Venerable Assaji is already an arahant, so it is not kusala. Functional chitta. It's not kusala javana, but it is kriya javana, no? So in this case also, it could be chanda or chitta, virya, or maybe mostly panya adhipati, also possible, no? So what I want to say here, main point is that these javana chittas can be kusala, can be kriya also. Okay, now this adhipati also possible for akusala. When the person, let's say in this case, she really want to tell her about something about the other person. So maybe chanda is strong, or maybe the akusala chitta itself is strong, or maybe effort also. She needs to put effort in order to say it. Say it all, make up a story or whatever it may be. It even walk towards her. The effort is there leading so her future action. Yes. So in this case, for akusala javana, chanda adhipati possible, chitta adhipati possible, virya adhipati possible, but panya adhipati not possible. In akusala. For akusala, no? Possible. Yes. Okay. Impossible to be wisely ignorant. Not possible. Okay, so this akusala, for the case of akusala javana, only these 3 is possible, and panya is not possible. So we have a little graphic here to make it a little bit more clear. For these 3, since they are ethically variable, and they can associate with kusala javana, akusala javana, and kriya javana. And kriya also, well, in the case it is associated with kusala, no? I mean, not kusala, sorry. In the case of arahant, yes, which is a good mind state,
beautiful
mind state. Yes.
Not making kusala, but already free.
Kriya. Yes.
Not planting seeds anymore.
Yes, thank you. So Vimamsa, Panya can only be associated with kusala javana or kriya javana. And in this case, adhipati, possible with all these cases in javana chitta, therefore vipaka is not possible. So in the case of the 4 categories, kusala, akusala, kriya, and vipaka and kriya, kusala, akusala, and kriya is possible, but vipaka is not possible because vipaka never happens in javana, no? So this vipaka, why is that not possible? Sayadaw Kamsachara, he explained that vipaka is compared to a very quiet person, like very passive.
Very shy.
Very shy, a little bit shy. So they are quite passive. So they do not have such predominance, such like want to do something,
Step
or the
forward.
chitta is strong, or a lot of effort or wisdom like that. Although they can associate with this this kind of mental, chitta, of course, because vipaka also chitta, then they can also associate with virya and panya, but since they are quiet and calm, they are not predominant. They don't become predominant. So only in javana chittas it is possible.
Yes.
Okay.
Until here,
okay?
everything okay? Everybody okay? Question, comments? How do you see?
Okay.
Everybody fine? Okay, so I think it's time. Let's take a break. It's just 1 hour right now, and precisely 11:00. So let's take a break, my dear family. 4 minutes,
and then we will come back to the next category.
Yeah, next categories, which is āhāra, and etc. etc. Okay. Everybody okay? No, everything fine?
Today we are all like vipaka chittas, very quiet. Okay, so see you in a few minutes.
See you soon. Thank you.
Okay, welcome back, everybody. Okay, so let's continue. And I see in the chat, Fernando, he posted a chat. It says that these four adhipati are like the 4 idhipadas. Yes, exactly. They are actually the same, but in idhipadas, because it is in the bodhipakkhya section, this is the next session that we're going to see, factors of enlightenment, they only associate with kusala. Only associated with the good ones, only kusala, and not even kriya. Because for a person who is totally enlightened already, for an arahat, they don't need to requisites for enlightenment. They do not need to work for enlightenment anymore. They are already there. So it also does not associate with kriya. So in that section, these 4 only associate with kusala, which is for development, for enlightenment.
Yeah. I think it's wonderful to see the clarity of the Buddha, how specific he was. In this case, this mental ingredient, depending on where we are in our inner development, it means this, and it has this power with these limitations or possibilities. Then later on, as we progress in our inner development, there comes a moment when, for example, some negativity is uprooted. That same ingredient, it has possibilities to continue happening on our mind, but it has different implications because we are in a different stage in our development. So very, very inspiring to see his clarity. And you will see the more we continue, as you know, it's going to be an endless study later on, but we will have a very good base. We can see how specific the Buddha, how much clarity he had, and he was unmistakably always pointing towards the precise functioning of it. Becomes very, very interesting. Yes, Fer, thank you very much. It is.
So I think from next week we will go to the bodhipakkhya, the factors of enlightenment section. So it will come again, these 4 factors, as Fernando already pointed out.
Yes.
But in that case, it only associates with kusala, leading to enlightenment. And here, these adhipati, they are predominance, but they can also associate with akusala, as we have seen already, because we are still in mixed category, no?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Everybody ready? Everybody okay? Thank you. Let's continue then with the next category, which is āhāra. It's a condition or cause. Translated as that, we have seen it as nutriment, but now we will see why it is, what is the contents and the importance of this new category.
Yes. So āhāra here translated as condition or cost. So as we as we remember in the Rupa chapter, we have seen āhāra, no? Āhāra ja rupa, or āhāra, this meaning nutriment or nutriment. So nutriment is actually also one type of āhāra, and now we will see there are 4 types of āhāra. And so there are 4 things. Why are they called āhāra? Because they are those that which bring about effect as a special condition.
Is
so
that which brings about an effect as a special condition. It's a cause.
Yes. So therefore, there are in this category there are 4 things. 4 things that are special condition which bring about effect. Let's say, in other words. Yes. Okay. So this bring about effect is important. Because they bring about effect, therefore they are called cause or condition, āhāra here. Okay, the first one is kabarikara āhāra.
Kabarikaro.
Kabarikara āhāra means nutriment that is in the food that we eat. So this is exactly what we have seen in the Rupa chapter. That āhāra,
it's one of them.
Nutriment. Yes. It is also called āhāra, kabarikara āhāra. And kabarikara, if I have not mistaken, my memory did not fail. So kabarikara, I think, is a handful. So like the food, the handful
what we can hold with our hand.
Yes, in India, in old times, even now, that they eat with hand, no? So there is handful of food, so they grab one handful. So this handful, I think it's kabari. Have to check again, but I think it is that. So that āhāra in food.
Go ahead, I check.
Okay. Yes. Anyway, well, it is that extra word, just I remember right now. Okay. Anyway, so the important thing is that, as we just said right now, they are called āhāra because they bring about result. No. So here, kabarikara āhāra, nutriment in food that we eat. What does it bring? What kind of effect or what kind of result does it cost?
Yes, kabarikaro means made something into balls, a mouthful, something that can be made in the size that we can chew. And it also has a lumping, putting things together, make a lump, and then bringing it onto the hand. So that means food, edible food, something that we can lump and then chew.
Okay, so kabarikara āhāra brings about what kind of effect? It brings about āhāra kalapa, no? The kalapa, which consists of 8 kind of rupa, born of āhāra. So here, kabarikara āhāra, nutriment in food, is called a cost or condition because it brings about the āhāra kalapa. Okay. Yes, until here, okay. Okay, so this is the first āhāra,
the one we already knew.
The first the one that we already know.
But let's remember that not only the body eats, but also the mind eats.
So nutrients for the
mind also needs some nutriment. The mind likes to be chewing things, especially concepts, ideas, memories, or planning. It likes to be chewing, eating something. So these āhāras also include for the mind, and the kind of things that the mind likes to chew is its objects, and the way the mind can chew the objects, the visual, the mind is chewing a sight, pleasurable or unpleasurable sight, sound is chewing it, taste is chewing it, a smell, a body sensation, and a thought. It goes through contact. So contact itself, it's a way to give food to the mind to make it contact the phenomenon, external phenomenon that comes inside through light, sound, and particles through taste and smell, etc., etc.
Yes, so the second āhāra is phassa, contact. So what does contact bring about? So it must bring about something in order to be a special condition that is called āhāra. Yes, so as we have seen last week, when we get in contact with a pleasant or a desirable object, then what happens? We feel good. We feel good. And when the mind gets in touch with an undesirable object, then the mind feels bad. No, it doesn't like it.
Disgust, aversion, dosa.
So what contact bring about is actually vedana. So contact brings about Vedana. Phassa, Paccaya, Vedana.
They are
Paticca
totally
Samuppada, the dependent origination.
They are together, actually.
Phassa contact, Paccaya, cost and condition, cost, and Vedana. Phassa, Paccaya, Vedana. Because
we have contact with the world, we taste it. Otherwise, it will be impossible. And then the chain continues.
So although Phassa and Vedana, as we know already, they arise in the same chitta, they arise at the same time, no? So it is not like Phassa arises first and Vedana follows it, no? But although they arise in the same time, but without Phassa, there is no Vedana. So it is Phassa is a main cause and condition for Vedana to arise, although they come up together, although they arise together. So at this point also we have to remember, not that one after the other, they arise together, but
because
Phassa is a main condition for Vedana. Yes. So because of contact, feeling arise. So therefore, contact brings about Vedana. It is a special condition for Vedana to arise. Therefore, it is called āhāra here.
It's like a food. We are bringing food for the mind, and the tasting of the mind of the experience of the sight, sound, smell, taste, and tangible object will be the Vedana itself. That's the way it is tasting it, as pleasant, unpleasant, neutral, or physically painful, or physically
mental pain and mental pleasure connected with the body.
That arose in the touch of the body, because of the touch of the body. Yes.
Okay, so āhāra special condition, the Phassa special condition for Vedana. Okay, now the third one is called Manosa Chetana, mental volition. Here it says Manosa Chetana, we are familiar, the volition. So Mano is mind. Also, Manosa Chetana is actually ultimate reality is also just Chetana. So Kusala Chetana or Akusala Chetana, this mental volition. So when we do good, then the Chetana arises together. No, then we want to do good. Then it's Kusala Chetana. Then when we do bad, also Akusala Chetana arises. So here it is important, just as a reminder, in the Anguttara Nikaya, the Buddha, he mentioned, Chetana ham bhikkhave kammam vadami. Monks, Chetana is what I call karma. So Chetana is karma. So Kusala karma and Akusala karma. No, Kusala Chetana and Akusala Chetana.
The intention of doing any action, be it verbal or physical, mental, it's that's what the seed actually, what is making the karma, what stays. We have spoken about this lengthfully before.
Yes, so Chetana is the most significant mental factor in creating karma, because it determines the ethical quality of the action, whether it is kusala or akusala. This Chetana is the most important. And now, this Manosa Chetana, what does it bring about? If it is an āhāra, it must bring about something, as a special effect, no? So, I mean, as a special condition, it must bring about.
What is the food of what? The food that generates what?
So, Kusala and Akusala Chetana generates patisandhi, no? Generates rebirth.
Rebirth or relinking consciousness. Our actions in this life will determine or previous, yes, our previous action will determine what kind of patisandhi we get. I mean, cannot jump, cause and effect, whatever potentiality there is, that's the connection nature will do.
So Kusala and Akusala Chetana here in this case is called āhāra because it is the special condition for patisandhi to arise. So the fourth one, now whenever there is a rebirth, there is mind, no? There's vijnana. Patisandhi itself is a consciousness. So the fourth āhāra is vijnana itself. So in the Paticcasamuppada, dependent origination, you might have heard vijnana paccaya nama rupa, no? So vijnana here is actually, in specific terms, it means patisandhi chitta. So this vipaka chitta always arise together with cetasika, no? So in the rebirth linking moment, Patisandhicitta itself arises together with Cetasika and together with Kamaja Rupa. In previous chapter, we have already seen with the three groups of material properties generated by karma. No? So therefore, this vijnana here, meaning this Patisandhicitta, generates Cetasika. I mean, it does not generate. It is a special cause for Cetasika, which in this case is nama, and Kamaja Rupa to arise. So therefore,
at the moment of
rebirth,
how you say conception? No, not conception. Yeah, conception.
Rebirth, linking, yes. So in this case, vijnana is a special condition for nama and rupa to arise. Therefore, vijnana pacaya nama rupa. So here, nama, although it is only mentioned nama, it means only cetasikas that is associated with the patisandhicitta, and the rupa specifically in this moment kamaja rupa. No? And also, this is a specific, very specific, but we can also in general sense understand that whenever there is vijnana consciousness, there surely must be cetasika and sometimes chittaja rupa also, no? Other rupas that associated with this chitta. So in general terms, we can consider this vijnana to be all kinds of vijnana that is the forerunner of those cetasikas and rupa that it associates with. So in this case, general sense, we can understand. Specific sense, this vijnana means the 19 types of patisandhi vijnana, and the nama, vijnana pacaya nama rupa, and this nama mind means the cetasika that associate with this patisandhicitta, and the rupa that associated, kamaja rupa, no? Associated with the patisandhicitta. Okay?
Everybody okay?
Yes.
Good.
Okay, good.
Continue then.
This is so good, so nice that we can explain everything in these ways with Pali terms and everything, and then everybody understand everything without like a confusion. That's so nice. We have gone quite far. Yeah, very good. Yes, I'm very happy about this.
Thank you, everybody, for our
collective
effort. Yes. Sadhu,
sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, so now this vijnana here is called āhāra because it is a special condition for nama and rupa to arise. So until here, we have finished all the 4 types of āhāra. So let's do a summary. Āhāra, first one, kavarikara āhāra. It's called āhāra because it is a special condition for āhāraja rupa to arise. Then we have phassa, contact, as āhāra because it's a special condition for vedana to arise. 5 kinds of vedana, no? Through contact, vedana arise. So the third one is manosa chetana, mental volition. It is called āhāra because it is special condition for patisandhi, for rebirth to arise. Then we have vijnana. Vijnana in general terms or vijnana in specific terms, the patisandhicitta generates, is a special condition for nama and rupa to arise. So therefore, this 4 is called āhāra, special conditions for some kind of effects. Okay, congratulations, everybody. Then here we finished the Misaka Sangaha session, compendium of the mixed
miscellaneous, mixed categories. We closed a subchapter, no, of the 7th chapter. There is
yes,
subchapter.
Then the next class we are going to enter to Bodhipakkhya, which are the factors of enlightenment. So here, since we are coming to an end of this category, then I thought it would be good just to refresh our memory to see what we have seen in this category, but only just one slide, like very quickly, just as a reminder.
Everybody ready? We will go through. This will be a good time to take screenshots if you wish to have graphic notes.
Okay, so in this mixed category of the chapter 7, Misaka Sangaha, the first group we have seen is hetus. hetus, the 6 mixed category, both good and bad. So loba, dosa, moha. First one we have seen
Kusala and akusala
hetu.
roots.
Then the next one that we have seen is jhana factors. Jhana factors usually we know as the jhana factors associated with jhanas, no? But here we remember that also it actually only means that it look at things very closely, no? So domanas are also included mixed category. So this is only the only difference. Then we have Sima Ganga, the 12 path factors, the Noble Eightfold Path, and 4 wrong paths as well. So this is the Maganga we have seen.
There are paths for goodness, paths for negativity, and we saw the differences between right and wrong concentration and effort, etc., etc.
Yes, here Maga path only means that it leads to somewhere. It leads to some kind of rebirth, leads to enlightenment also as well for this Noble Eightfold Path, but here also leads to some kind of rebirth also, both good and bad.
Even lower real rebirths. Yeah.
Yes, okay, so leads somewhere.
Because of the mixed category we are exploring, yes.
Then we have seen the 22 Indriyas, which from the eye faculty until the full enlightenment.
Yes, please, whoever didn't attend it last week and haven't seen the video, we will really recommend you to see. It's very beautiful. It describes the whole development of a human mind from bare experience, from seeing, just seeing, from listening, just listening, all the way developing, just stepping on crossing the river of suffering, stepping on the stones of Indriya until full liberation of a mind. Very inspiring, this category.
Yes, so the 22 Indriyas that we have seen last week.
Video is already published, yeah.
Yes, and then so today we have seen the balas, the power and strength, 9 of them. Oh, I didn't take out the information. Okay, then we have adhipati, the predominant, which is compared with the king, that only one in a time, only happen in Javana Chittas. We have seen it today, and also we have seen just the last category, āhāra, the special conditions. So here we finished with the Misaka Sangaha compendium of the mixed category.
Mixed categories. So how do you see, my dear family? How do you feel? We can turn, I think.
Yes, mics are on all the time. Yeah. Actually.
Yeah, I don't think we open the next one.
Yes. Yeah. Today we will stop here because we only have 30 minutes, and also it has a lot of information already. So if we start another category,
better start fresh next Sunday.
So yeah. So we'll stop here today. And if you have any comments or questions or anything that you wish to share, then please
what do we keep home? How do you feel this category, my dear family? Please turn on your mics, and then we explore for a little while.
And then we will finish for today.
Yes.
I want to ask, where can I find these mixed categories? And what
this is in Abhidhamma Sangha chapter 7.
Chapter 7.
Okay.
It's a
also, all the videos are already online.
Subchapter of chapter 7.
Do you have this book? I mean, in PDF. This is the Fundamental Abhidhamma by Venerable Sayadaw Nandamala Biwamsa. If not, I will send it.
Let's send it. Yes.
Yes, I think I've sent it again. This book is actually only a list. So here you will find the names and a small definition about the things. Mostly it's like a list.
This is like the menu or like the detailed index of the Abhidhamma Sangha. You don't get details, but just very small descriptions of the things. And whenever which one was this one? Very handy, very beautiful. I mean, handy book to keep around.
I mean, it's good it's like a quick look to remember about which category is what. It is in this kind of format.
Yes, so very simple
of things.
Sayadawji had the great idea of working on this book, on these notes, and it has been very helpful for so many people. So we really recommend. Hopefully, if you can print it, or maybe next time we go, let's see if we can bring some copies of it.
Yeah, it is helpful only when after you have studied the thing now. Otherwise, if you just take the book, it's just a whole bunch of lists.
It's right for you. Yeah, if somebody tries to read that book, forget it.
Andrea said she tried.
It will be impossible without explanation. This is once we pass through, like what we have done is very, very handy.
Like reminders.
Summary and reminder. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Or any question? if you wish to have something before.
Yeah. Or if there is
nothing,
nothing, also we take rest because it's also late for you. So as you wish. Nothing? Okay.
Good.
Okay, so thank you very much for your effort.
Yes.
And so we continue next week with Bodhipakya and then factors of enlightenment.
Factors of enlightenment. Very inspiring. What needs to be balanced for the mind to purify to the utmost.
Okay, so let's share merits and close the class.
May all our families stay well. Let's remember our parents, brothers and sisters, sons and daughters, grandsons, grandparents, wherever they may be. May their health be well. We know of a person, a friend, the sister of a student that is dying at this moment. She's quite young, unfortunately, and we wish the best for her journey. And we remember all the people who might be mourning somebody or lost something. May they find peace. We offer, and hopefully the fruits of our noble efforts of study and practice eventually reach them and benefit. And we recite through the goodness that arises from my practice, may my spiritual teachers and guides of great virtue, our mother, our father, and our relatives, the sun and the moon and all virtuous leaders of the world, may those who are friendly, indifferent, or hostile, may all beings receive the blessings of our lives. May they soon attain the threefold bliss and realize the deathless. Through the goodness that arises from our practice and through this act of sharing, may all desires and attachments quickly cease, and on harmful states of mind, until we realize Nibbana in every kind of birth. May we have an upright mind, with mindfulness and wisdom, austerity and vigor. May the forces of delusion not take hold, nor weaken our resolve. The Buddha is my excellent refuge, unsurpassed is the protection of the Dhamma. The solitary Buddha is my noble Lord, the Sangha is my supreme support. Through the supreme power of all these, may darkness and delusion be dispelled. May all beings be benefited from the fruits of our cultivation. Thank you, everybody. Let's rejoice. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. We continue on this adventure. Have a good night, nice week, and continue with the Bodhipakiyas in the next. See you on Wednesday if you wish, and week. Friday, 7 p.m. Mexico. We continue with the Abhidhamma Sangha in Spanish.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good day for you.
Best wishes to all the family.